So guess what? There's some breaking news coming out of Flint, Michigan. You know, they poisoned everybody there on purpose. They knew, then they lied about it. And then Barack Obama came in, could have gave them all Medicare for all for the rest of their life to take care of their lead poisoning of their children. He didn't. He did nothing for them. Here's what's going on. Former Governor Rick Snyder is going to be charged with a crime in Flint water crisis. There, you know what he's thinking right there? We should privatize this. That's what he's thinking right there. So here's the story. Former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, his health director, and other ex-officials have been told that they're being charged after a new investigation of the Flint water scandal, which devastated the majority black city with lead-contaminated water and was blamed for a deadly outbreak of disease in 2014 to 2015. Wow. So now, you know they did this on purpose. This wasn't like accidental. Two people with knowledge of the planned prosecution told the AP on Tuesday that the Attorney General's office has informed defense lawyers about indictments in Flint and told them to expect initial court appearances soon. Well, it's only been 6 years, so yeah, I think soon is fair. Soon? It's been 6 years. Okay. Rick Snyder, a Republican who has been out of office for 2 years, was governor when state-appointed managers in Flint switched the city's water to the Flint River in 2014 as a cost-saving step while a pipeline was being built to Lake Huron. So first they got rid of their elected mayor because the governor came in and did a little fascism. The governor of Michigan said, that's a failing city. We're going to appoint a manager, get rid of their elected officials. And now he's basically running that city. And that's what they did to those people. And there's no accountability. And so now finally maybe somebody will be charged, but you know they're going to get off. So he's been out of office for 2 years, which means for the past few years, he's done better for Michigan than he ever has when he was in office. He's done nothing, which is better than what he did when he was in office. The water, however, was not treated to reduce corrosion, a disastrous decision affirmed by state regulators that caused lead to leach from old pipes and spoil the distribution system used by nearly 100,000 residents. Shout out to the media, though. They've been covering this up nonstop. So good for them. The disaster made Flint a nationwide symbol of governmental mismanagement, with residents lining up for bottled water and parents fearing that their children had suffered permanent harm. Lead can damage the brain and nervous systems and cause learning and behavioral problems. Testimony, by the way, testimony at court hearings raised questions about what Snyder knew. When Snyder knew. His urban affairs advisor told a judge that the governor was informed on Christmas Eve of 2015, but Snyder told reporters 3 weeks later in January 2016 that he had just learned about it. Wow. Hey, Merry Christmas, we're poisoning residents. Bah, humbug. This guy is like a Dickens novel come to life. Perhaps this will decrease the surplus population. So get this, though. This guy, Joe Biden, and he was touting this guy's endorsement. This guy who everyone knew poisoned people on purpose for money. Joe Biden, such a craven capitalist. Wow. Hey, Joe Biden went to Flint and barely mentioned the water crisis. Community leaders are furious. He spent most of the time talking about the Detroit Lions and how his dad used to like the cars they made. Joe Biden went to Flint and barely mentioned the water crisis. Community leaders are furious. When people who have power to elevate your story come and totally disregard your story, you're re-traumatized, said one Flint public health advocate who felt Biden used the event as little more than a campaign stop. Wow, this is a huge endorsement from, this is what Dr. Gibson McFuck said about this is a huge endorsement from Michigan's former governor, Rick Snyder. Say what you will about the man who admittedly forced an entire city's inhabitants to bathe in lead for years, but it's important to note that he never once insulted liberal sensibilities on a podcast.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Gibson McFuck.
Wow.
I think they need to add or a YouTube show.
Joe Biden, I listen to science. Science, ban fracking. Joe Biden, come on, man. And here's my favorite comedy bit of all time.
I hear you.
Fake cough.
We invest. Can I get some water? Come on up here. I want a glass of water.
Get a bottle. Bottle water.
I want a glass of water. Everybody settle down. This is a feisty crowd. Thank you.
Watch this stunt.
I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
And everyone laughs. It's a stunt because they know it's a stunt.
What? He wet his lips. He did not drink it. He didn't sip it. He wet his lips.
There was an audible gasp in the audience. People were just like absolutely dejected. Why would you do that?
I am sure that somewhere when I was 2 years old, I was taking a chip of paint, tasting it, and I got some lead.
Yeah, that's like talking about like, well, I didn't wear a seatbelt and I'm fine. It's like, but there were tons of people that died.
Backstage, the president, sitting at the table with the criminal governor, decided to perform his stunt all over again.
You know, generally I have not been doing stunts here, but, you know.
That's not what I expected. That's what Snyder did.
It felt like he minimized like what people were actually going through and struggling with. If you were actually lead poisoned, you would not be president, you would be janitor Barack Obama.
We were holding on to hope that he would declare a disaster area. A disaster would give us FEMA, it would give us pipe replacement, get engineers in here. Then we could get Medicare for all the residents of Flint. As soon as he took a drink of the water and said everything's fine, that was that.
And look at it, years later, it's still poison.
When he came here, he was my president, but when he left, he was not my president.
So that's one of my favorite comedy bits. I don't know about you, but that is hilarious. The way he pretended to drink that water is great. It's really funny. Here's one of my ex-favorite comedians.
Well, President Obama, thank you so much for joining me today.
It is wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
It is good to be seen. I've been seeing you on television, but it's good to see you in person.
That's nice.
And
that's got to help the demo in some. How old are you? Are you between 18 and 54?
I'm not the demographic you're looking for.
Sorry, it doesn't count.
It's too late.
I apologize. It doesn't count.
Michelle says, "Hey."
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
You know,
good.
She loves you.
Well, so, I've really enjoyed spending some time with her over the last 4 years.
I know. And,
yeah.
And she adores you. She thinks the world of you. I think you're okay.
Can we just take a moment? Can I want to talk. I just want to take a moment to drink you in for just a moment because I'm having to get used to looking at a president. Again, you know, I've gotten out of the habit.
I
got to warm up for Joe Biden. I don't want to pull anything when I see him take the oath of office. You got to ease me into this a little bit.
Joe's going to be great, and
I have no
Kamala's
doubt.
going to be great.
I have no doubt. Did you hear that? That's a comedian. Joe Biden's going to be great, and he said, "I have no doubt." First of all, they should have done that interview from a castle. It would have been more honest. Hey, I have no doubt they'll be great. And if they're not great, don't worry. Stephen Colbert's not going to say anything. Did you hear what he just said?
You got to ease me into this a little bit.
Joe's going to be great, and
I have no
Kamala's
doubt.
going to be great,
I have
and
no doubt.
you know they're.
He has no doubt. Twice he said it. No, I have no doubt they're going to be great.
He can't say it to the camera.
That's
though.
a comedian. It's talking about a politician. They're going to be great. As Joe Biden is staffing his cabinet with the worst people in the world, the worst, most predatory, warmongering, bloodthirsty capitalists. Not one progressive in his cabinet. Bernie Sanders made you vote for him, told you to vote for him, and he didn't get a goddamn thing for his vote. Shame on Bernie Sanders. Shame on the fucking squad. Shame on every Democrat. Shame on every blue check motherfucker on Twitter who told you to vote for Joe Biden without ever extracting anything from him. Not even a promise to give us $2,000 checks. Not a promise to give us health care. He promised to stop us from getting health care. And you still had to vote for him. No mechanism to hold Joe Biden accountable. None. No mechanism to hold the Justice Democrats accountable. None. No mechanism to hold anybody in government accountable for anything. That's why we're a third world country right now. What do you call... There's 100 million people who have no insurance or are underinsured. What do you call that? You call that a failed system. You call that a failed system. We are living in a failed state. And guys like Stephen Colbert are going to laugh all the way to the bank. And guys like Barack Obama, who just got I think it was a 46-acre Martha's Vineyard estate, plus his house in Chicago. That's not his only house. Plus he has his house in Chicago. He has, out of 46 acres, $15 million estate. Anyway, or maybe it was only 13, so it's probably not that much. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.